Research Director for the Seta Foundation think tank. Kılıç, good to have you on our show. What do you think the political narrative is coming out from these elections is?
Well, when we look at the election results, actually, we see that the alliance between AK Party and MHP kept the amount of their vote, the number of their votes, more than 50%. So although AK Party lost some of the municipalities in the southern part of Turkey, it won the municipalities in the southeast part of Turkey. And it basically, the high turnout rate, again, we see more than 80% turnout, and vibrant election campaign will basically create a situation of calm and at least not a lot of noise about the controversy and other issues about the elections. As you may recall, in most of the elections in the last couple of years, we saw that there were a lot of controversy coming out from the most of them from those who are not engaged in the election process about if the elections are free or if the elections are competitive enough. And this election demonstrated that election was free and election was competitive enough in the sense that the opposition candidates had their campaigns, and some of them actually had successful campaigns. And at the end of the day, it demonstrated a vibrant democracy in Turkey. And actually, there should be now a trust for the middle class and the youth in Turkey about the democracy and this democratic process.
The biggest surprise of the night is so far.
Yeah, the biggest surprise, I guess, would be the increasing AK Party votes in the southeast of Turkey, especially in cities, Şırnak, Ağrı, Bitlis. We see that so far that AK Party candidates are running up to win the mayoral elections. And in probably all of the major public opinion polls, there was it was showing that AK Party may not only will lose votes in this region, but will probably lose some of the municipalities that it was holding. And especially Şırnak, and if you follow the social media, everybody was perplexed by the AK Party's election success in those cities. Regarding in other cities, everybody was telling that AK Party will have hard time, mostly because of the alliance system that basically that was formed against AK Party as well. In places like Antalya, that AK Party seems to be losing the election right now. It is AK Party actually increased its votes in the city, but due to the alliance, actually, AK Party lost its vote. And when I compared the votes of AK Party with the 2014 local elections, we see that actually AK Party increased its votes by 1%. And compared to general elections of June, actually, which AK Party get around 42%, we see that AK Party increased its votes by 3 to 4% right now.
All right. No elections are slated for at least the next 4 years. How do you think Turkey should be using this period?
Well, of course, you know, like in both June elections, when you look at the exit polls of June elections and the public opinion polls before this election, you will see that the public has significant expectations from the government for the next 4.5 years. The first one is, of course, both the government is expecting this and the public is expecting to put the system in line in regards to new governing system. So there will be probably some structural reforms and implementations of these reforms after this election. Secondly, both in June elections and this local election, we see that economy becomes one of the most significant issues for the Turkish electorate. And immediately after the elections, we may see that there will be a new reform package and some other steps taken to deal with the economic problems. And these issues are actually would be in line with the global economic challenges right now. Considering the risk for the emerging markets in the global economy, Turkish government is expected by the public to take steps and precautions to prevent any kind of fallouts from the crisis in global markets. And finally, of course, the national security issue is one of the key issues for the Turkish electorate. And it was somehow neglected by the international media, but 2015, 2016, we see multiple different terrorist attacks in Turkey, major terrorist attacks organized by different terrorist groups. And in the next 4 years, Turkish public is expecting the government to take necessary precautions to prevent any kind of this repetition of these attacks. This would be a strong support for the government for the cross-border operation in terrorist hideouts in northern Syria and northern Iraq, probably.
All right, Kılıç, Buğra, Kanat from the Seta Foundation in Washington. Thank you for that update. All right, nearly 3/4 of the votes have been counted in Turkey's local elections in 2019. Let's get an update on the numbers. Kim Manel joins us now. Kim?
Thanks for that, Alijan. Some really interesting and important points made there by a guest in DC to do with the provinces. Let's break that down now. As you can see here, this map is talking about the number of provinces that each party or each alliance has managed to gain. The total numbers down the bottom here, 52 to the People's